if your marriage is on the rocks and you're still trying to convince your wife to stay, you're not trying to rebuild your marriage. You're actually just auditioning for it. The truth is, the harder you try and prove to your wife that you changed, the more it feels confirmed to her that you haven't. Because what she's responding to isn't your effort, it's your energy. So in this video, I'm going to show you why trying to win her back almost always pushes her further away, and what to do instead that naturally pulls her back towards you without having to try and prove anything or convince her with a faked act. And by the way, if your marriage feels like it's slipping and you're tired of guessing what works, I put together a free masterclass that walks you through the relationship rebuild framework, the exact step-by-step process I use to help men go from she is done to there's hope and a great path forward again. The link is in the description and you can watch it for free after this video. So let's get one thing straight. You're not trying to win your wife back. You have to completely erase any mindset or thought that your goal is to win her back to being your happy wife again. You're trying to become the man she naturally leans toward again, because there's a huge difference between performing for her approval to win her back and leading your relationship with grounded conviction. Think about it like this. When you're trying to win her back, everything becomes a strategy that you're measuring the success of by how she responds. If I say this right, maybe she'll soften. If I plan a big date, maybe she'll see that I'm trying. If I stay calm long enough, she's eventually going to come around. You're not being authentic. You're coming off as being calculating. And trust me, she can feel the calculation, and it feels like panic and desperation on your end. It's not necessarily your words that are turning her off. It's the subtle and sudden pressure that's behind those words. Women don't trust effort that comes from a place of need or lack. They trust effort that comes from conviction and leadership. When you're facing the breakdown of your relationship, it's easy to understand why, as a man, you don't realize that your actions in desperately trying to save things basically get communicated as a performance. Because to you, you genuinely love your wife or partner, and you most likely came to the realization that you've been complacent and not showing up as you should. So there's this mad dash to start fixing things and start performing. Even if your intentions are 100% genuine, it comes off as a performance. And this is where you start to fall into these patterns that feel like you're showing maximum effort, but unfortunately, they actually just create more distance when your wife has gotten to the point where she's already emotionally disconnected. And to illustrate, here are a few patterns that men fall into. First, there's the look at me changing energy. You start highlighting to her everything that you're doing. See, I'm calmer. See, I'm being understanding. See, I'm giving you space. But in doing so, this is what your wife actually hears. Are you impressed yet? Do I get points now? What's my score? Am I catching up on the deficit that these last months or years of behavior of mine have created? That energy is a major shift from growth as a leader to performance. And that's why I say it's like auditioning. Your performance and your check-ins for points start to kill the trust on her end. Another pattern is hyper-accommodation. You stop disagreeing with things that you don't agree with, and you just stop expressing your own needs. You just get to a level of accommodation with your wife because you think it's going to make you look better and be a better man, and she'll be happier with that. The problem is, and I have to be firm but fair on this, you're not becoming a better man by doing that. You're actually becoming less of one. And I know this because I repeatedly did this in my life, so I've seen both sides of the coin. A woman can't relax into a man who's constantly adjusting himself to avoid tension. She doesn't want a yes man. She wants a grounded man. And the third emotional pattern is emotional negotiation. You're trying to trade good behavior for her affection. Let's say you've had many arguments over a period of time with your wife, and obviously there's a lot of friction in the relationship, and things are getting worse and worse. One of the points she's repeatedly mentioned to you is how you don't listen to her and how you always get upset at things, especially when you talk about certain topics. So you try to show a bit of calmness, and let's say a week goes by and you've been pretty good, but another topic of tension comes up and she can sense that you're getting a little agitated. So she starts to close down and you are trying to get her to talk, but she's getting more and more into her shell. So you proclaim, I've been calm and really trying this past week. Why are you doing this to me and being distant? Right there. Any baby steps you gained is completely wiped out. She was never supposed to reward you for acting calm. Groundedness is not a strategy. It's supposed to be your standard. You can't expect to build it up and trade it for affection on your own timeline. So I mentioned that grounded leadership has to be your standard. To make this so, you have to stop trying to win her reactions and start focusing on leading your own responses. Here's the new mindset you need to live by. Her reaction is data. It's not verdict. You don't need to change your mood based on her mood. You need to lead based on your own principles. This is the emotional leadership shift. Instead of chasing connection through performing and checking to see if she's giving you a good score, you create the conditions in your relationship where connection becomes safe for her again. How do you do this? Well, when she's distant, you stay warm. When she's emotional, you stay steady. And when she's unsure, you stay consistent. These are absolute non-negotiables. The only way to save your marriage is to start learning and implementing these skills. No matter what anybody tells you, these are the foundations of real leadership. Not tricks, not strategies, strictly standards. And when you do this, you're not going to get a huge billboard on her end, like a long talk or huge affection moments that signal the reconnection is beginning. You're going to have to maintain that consistency and notice the micro shifts in how she is around you and how she communicates with you in subtle ways. These are the permission signals that start to appear when you're not looking for her approval and you're leading to your own calm standards. Calm is a true indicator of masculine leadership. Here's a simple way to move forward and what I want you to learn from this video. Instead of asking, how do I make her feel something toward me again? Ask this. How do I create an energy she wants to be around, even if she resists a little bit at first? The how is started by applying these 3 anchors: calm presence, clear direction, and quiet confidence. Like I said, to really drive this home, you're not trying to win her back. You're reminding her of what it feels like to be with a man she feels a connection with again. So if you made it to this point and you know this has been you during these troubled times in your relationship, and you're fearful you're going to lose your wife, I don't want you to live with this fearful feeling anymore. And you don't have to live like that anymore. You don't have to guess and hope any longer. I break all of this down deeper inside my free masterclass. It shows you the exact roadmap I use in the Relationship Rebuild coaching program to help men rebuild their leadership and save their relationship. The link is below in the description. Click that now and watch it for free today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button and do all of those YouTube-y things. I will catch you guys in the next episode.